I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real. You are an idiot.
Well, she seems lovely and stable. And up next, we got to talk about the latest Twitter drama and viral video that is somehow dividing opinion. Kind of crazy to me that this one even there's any room for disagreement, but it concerns, of course, because we keep doing this. We keep finding like random videos of some minimum wage worker having an interaction and they go mega viral and we make that person famous or even just for a moment, like a flash in the pan kind of thing, because it maps onto some culture war issue. Well, the latest one of these involves a Cinnabon employee. And apparently those do exist outside of shopping malls that closed down 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So Cinnabon employee was just fired after a clash that she had with apparently Somali customers, so of immigrants of Somali origin. And this happened in Wisconsin. And the video is absolutely insane to watch. It is, of course, only a snippet of the interaction. We're going to play it, and I'll have to censor some words because she does say the N-word repeatedly in anger, which is kind of wild. But so we don't really know what happened before this video. So I will just acknowledge that. It's possible the customers were polite and reasonable and this woman's just a racist jerk. It's also possible they were really nasty or harassed her or were rude to her or they're the instigators. We don't know. All we know is what happened when the cameras started rolling. And I think what happens then is bad enough to call into question the fact that so many people are somehow defending this woman no matter what. But first I'll just show you the video, the full thing, and we can talk about it after. All right, let's take a look at this.
Sexualizing your body makes you a better person.
Are you recording?
I'm gonna record you. Yes.
Do you want me to throw water on you? That's. I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real. You are an idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh,
Bye.
you talk about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you look
Yes.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the f is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the f out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You the ugliest person I ever seen in my life.
Good.
Fuck.
Your fucking
No, we
face
not.
for
No,
what?
we not. No, we not.
Because you know damn well you're a fucking
Respect.
evil.
Respect. Keep squeezing that caramel, bitch. Get the out of here.
That was meant for you.
Well, she seems lovely and stable. I mean, I should say, like, maybe the customers did something before the camera started rolling to instigate or whatever. I mean, there's that bit about how they seem to be judging her for the fact that she's not covered up in a hijab, which they have now, after the fact, said, well, she had made a comment about the wife's hijab that was rude, and that's why they said that. It doesn't really matter. It's like all of this building up to the clip. I don't know who the true villain is in that part. But what this woman does here is psychotic and insane and racist. Doesn't matter if a customer mistreats you or harasses you, if that's what happened. Like I said, we don't know. The appropriate response is to kick them out of the store, call the police if they won't leave. Even I can imagine a world where you get really upset and maybe you cuss them out and you behave in an unprofessional way, but you don't go full like Klansman. You don't start calling them the N-word and proudly boasting you are racist at work. Are you crazy? How could you possibly think that's acceptable behavior? It doesn't matter what they do to instigate. That's still evil and immoral on your part. If they did anything to instigate, you still can't do that. And of course they're going to fire you for that. You're at work. This woman is dropping hard R's in anger on customers at work for a corporation, and then half of Twitter is acting like she's the latest person unfairly canceled by the woke mob. Girl, what? Are y'all okay? I mean, of course, Cinnabon fired her and put out a statement. They said, we've seen the disturbing video from the Cinnabon bakery in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, and we do not condone this behavior. The former employee was immediately terminated by the franchise owner. Their actions do not reflect our values or the welcome experience every guest deserves. So I don't know, because this involves Somalian people or immigrants or something, it's become somehow a cultural flashpoint, and a serious number of high-profile people on right-wing Twitter in particular are defending the woman in the video. Now, again, I'm not defending the customers necessarily. Maybe they're also like bad or I don't know. But no matter what, her behavior is unacceptable and unhinged and evil. And she has absolutely earned herself a fire. I find it insane that people defend the indefensible like this because of the culture war. But let me read you some tweets from Bad Hombre. I stand with the Cinnabon lady. For one from Derek Evans. White people are sick and tired of the way we are treated in our own country. Yeah, the country belongs to Americans, not all of whom are white. And even if you are mistreated, that is not an excuse to be evil and racist to people. Anyway, the racist influencer Lily Gaddis says, I absolutely support this. You've ruined your life, by the way, in quotes, referring to what the customer said. Remember that. This is how invaders are taking our country. If you stand up against it, they'll ruin your life. Stand up, white people, before it's too late. Or just like, don't call people the N-word in a racist and angry way on camera while you're at work, and you'll be fine. Are they weaponizing that against you? Or are you just acting a fool at work on camera, behaving yourself despicably, and then being held accountable for it? That's not a problem most white people will experience because they're not going to act like that. Anyway, this is my personal favorite. Larry writes, Crystal, a hardworking white mom. As if you know anything about her or that she's hardworking. And he's citing the fact that she's a mom, which is hilarious because of some things people have unearthed about her past that I can't verify, so I don't want to say. But if those are true, then that's hilarious that he's citing that. Anyway, Crystal, a hardworking white mom, was doing her job at Cinnabon when a Somali couple decided to make her shift horrible with intimidation. You actually have no idea. You have no idea what happened before the cameras were rolling. That they went in there and decided to harass her. You do not know that. So you're assuming conclusions not based on the evidence. Anyway, he concludes, instead of banning the offenders, Cinnabon fires Crystal to keep the Somali couple happy. Okay, even if the Somali customers had done something wrong, then they should also be banned. But yeah, you should still fire Crystal. And it's not to keep the Somali community happy. It's to protect the national brand of your corporation, which I'm sure has millions of black customers, and say that it's not in fact okay for employees to proudly boast that they're racist at work and call customers the N-word. What kind of crazy pills are y'all taking? Spinach Bra wrote in a tweet with 700,000 views, at Cinnabon, I'm a daily customer. I'm sorry. We need to pause on that. I am a daily customer of Cinnabon. Sir, I have questions about your health and your decision making, and you should discuss that with a doctor because that seems unwise to me. But you know what? It is a free country. So anyway, I am a daily customer. I will never buy another Cinnabon after you fired that lady who was harassed by Somalian illegal aliens trying to do her job. Of course, he has no idea whether these people are illegal aliens or not. And again, it wouldn't matter. You still can't call black people the N-word at work. Oy vey. Anyway, Jack Posibiec, the far-right influencer, wrote, I'm going to take a wild guess here that the left is lying about the Cinnabon employee in Wisconsin, because that is all they do. How many times have we seen this cycle play out? Remember the rule. What happened right before this video? Now, I understand his point that these things can be taken out of context, and sometimes we jump to conclusions too quickly, and okay, I'm open to that. However, in this case, there's really nothing that could come before the video starts that would justify what she said. And I feel confident. I literally cannot imagine a scenario where, therefore, what she did is okay and not a fireable offense. If you can, let me know. I can't imagine one. And it's crazy that she can behave in such an awful way on camera and they'll still find a way to defend her. In fact, our culture is so screwed up now that there's now a GoFundMe for this woman, Help Crystal, or I guess it's a Give, Send, Go, because GoFundMe would probably ban this campaign. Oh, and as of time of this recording, they have raised $102,000 for this woman who proudly declared herself a racist and was incredibly racist and abusive towards customers. Oh gosh, this is just absolutely unhinged stuff. I fear that polarization and partisanship are driving everyone insane to the point where they just defend the most absolutely indefensible and unhinged behavior because it's our side versus their side. And I actually don't know if this is true, but the funniest thing is some people on Twitter are saying that this woman is actually a Kamala voter, which is hilarious if true. I don't know if true. But again, it shouldn't matter. Basic decency and respect for our fellow citizens and just like common sense as an employee all require you to not behave like this at work or really ever. And if all this woman had done was say, because some people are saying, well, they were sexually harassing her, which we don't know. And they're going off of the first 10 seconds of that clip that I showed you where they're saying, oh, why are you're sexualizing your body by not wearing a hijab. That one comment in alone does not constitute. I mean, it's inappropriate to say to an employee and she'd be justified to kick them out, but it doesn't mean doesn't mean they were sexually harassing her. That's a bit much. And so she could have asked them to leave. If they refused, she could have called the police. She could even have yelled at them, argued with them in all sorts of ways. And then said, hey, like they just came in and started the problem and all these things. And then there would be a legitimate case to defend this woman. But when she boldly states, I am racist, you are an N-word, that is evil behavior. That is obviously unprofessional conduct that any company with true sense of integrity and just basic common sense as far as profit and keeping customers happy is concerned is going to kick that employee out the door. This woman is not a victim. She is a villain, and she does not deserve sympathy or a give, send, go fundraiser sending her 6 figures. Seriously, y'all could be buying malaria nets or feeding the poor with that money, and you're deciding to give it to a woman who proudly boasted that she is a racist and called customers the N-word. How did we get here? How did the train go so far off the tracks in this cultural war? Something here is really sick and messed up. And there's really just no level of whataboutism or attempting to explain how the customers are also bad that possibly justifies this woman's behavior. And it is to the eternal shame of these influencers that their brains are so corroded by a combination of tribalism and desperation for attention and clicks that they will defend the absolute indefensible. But never, I don't know, never expect better from an influencer, I guess, or at least these days. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, and all of that.